There is no peace in a man who bows to madness, no honor in the one who calls poison his wine, drinks it slowly, and whispers the word love as it kills him. The modern man is not destroyed by war, famine, or fire. He is destroyed by a smile, a kiss, a soft voice that wraps around his spine like a snake and teaches him to enjoy the constriction. And no one weeps for him because he agreed to die quietly. Marcus Aurelius never begged. He ruled. He did not chase storms to feel alive. He mastered them. And he left behind warnings, not poems, not comfort, etched in stone for men drowning in delusion. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Yet, today's man surrenders both. He lets a woman become his storm, his god, the architect of his emotional ruin. Worse, he calls this romance. Listen now, your future depends on it. There are behaviors no man tolerates, not from fear of loneliness, but refusal to lose himself. Permit these, and you're not a lover. You're a slave in chains. The first poison is mockery. The rolling eyes, the sarcastic dagger in front of friends, the public humiliation she dismisses as just a joke. A woman who cannot speak of you with reverence shouldn't speak to you at all. Aurelius, what injures the hive injures the bee. What injures your image poisons your soul. Let her humiliate you, and you're not building a relationship. You're digging your confidence's grave, one insult at a time. Then comes chaos normalized. She is never at peace. Her moods dictate the atmosphere. Warmth shifts to ice without warning. Her anger cuts and you bleed silently, mistaking this tempest for passion. It's pathology. Nowhere can man find a quieter retreat than in his own soul. Marcus wrote, but the man sharing a bed with a hurricane finds no retreat, only flight from her, from himself, from the life he once envisioned. Beware the attention addict, the woman who starves without male validation, who posts skin over substance, who measures worth in likes and DMs. She'll call it empowerment, but if strangers' eyes define her value, she'll never value the man seeing her soul. Aurelius warned of chasing illusions. It is not death a man should fear, but never beginning to live. Stand beside a woman worshipping the crowd, and you never begin. You're a shadow beside her spotlight. The fourth corrosive behavior is sexual manipulation. She withholds to punish, gives to reward, uses intimacy as leverage, not love. You, craving warmth, crawl like a beggar to her throne. Marcus Aurelius taught self-mastery, detachment, reason over impulse. But the man ruled by lust isn't a man. He's a slave trading dignity for pleasure. Sex isn't the problem, her control of it is. Your obedience, the real disease. Fifth is contempt for your purpose. She scoffs at your goals, rolls eyes at discipline, sabotages focus because your future holds no value unless it serves her. This isn't partnership, it's annihilation. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus commanded. But how? When every step forward is mocked by the one walking beside you. Stay, and you'll wake in a life built for her, empty of you. 5. Poisons named. If one resonates, this isn't a list, it's a mirror. You're bleeding, not nobly, not romantically. You're committing self-destruction, drenched in perfume. Marcus Aurelius wasn't gentle. Neither is truth. Then emerges the ghost of competition. She doesn't walk beside you, she outshines you. Her words drip comparison. Her victories must drown yours. Her success, income, followers, weapons, not shared triumphs. You become a silhouette in your own home. Aurelius cautioned, ambition means tying your well-being to what others say or do. Yet she ties her worth to surpassing you, her protector, not opponent. You're not her man, you're her mirror. She'll only love you reflecting her superiority. Seventh is emotional manipulation disguised as trauma. Every cruelty excused by her past, coldness, betrayal, venom, all blamed on healing. You're no longer a partner, you're her therapist, punching bag, confessional. She sins, you repent. The more broken she claims to be, the guiltier you feel for needing love. Marcus said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." But this isn't revenge. It's corruption. She hijacks your empathy. Confuse manhood with martyrdom, and you'll be crucified by a woman who never intended to change. The eighth toxin is entitlement without accountability. She demands royalty, gives peasantry, insists she's the prize. Gratitude? Extinct. Criticism? Endless. You build, she evaluates. You sacrifice, she demands. You lead, she resists. Not because you lead poorly, but because submission feels like loss to her ego. Aurelius knew, other people hurt me, that's their problem. But the man letting ingratitude define his worth drowns in her self-importance. Ninth is boundary testing. Small lies, late-night texts to friends, disappearances, photos she swore she wouldn't post, not betrayals, drips of disloyalty. She steps past your limits to see if you flinch. Marcus decreed, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." But if she does it and you stay, every test failed becomes a game she'll replay until your standards crumble and silence becomes permission. 10th, and deadliest, is the erosion of respect. No fights, no drama, just the quiet void where admiration lived. She no longer listens when you speak, no longer looks when you enter. Your background noise in the house you built. Not cruel, indifferent. The most violent betrayal. A man survives hate, he doesn't survive being ignored. When you arise, Marcus wrote, think, what a privilege to be alive, to think, to love. But the man waking beside a woman blind to that privilege, he stops rising, he fades. These are the poisons, not opinions, realities, each a doorway to a man's purpose. Most ignore them. Truth offends, lies seduce. But the rare man sees. Love without respect is slavery with a smile. He remembers what Aurelius stood for. Discipline of mind, rule of self, sacredness of peace. The illusions shatter. What remains is the man. Raw, wounded, one choice from tyranny over himself or prison to others. Aurelius called this the soul's battlefield. The tragedy isn't her behavior, it's your tolerance. A man's destruction starts with what he permits in love's name. Forgive what should have been walked from. Explain betrayal with soft logic. Bend standards to keep her. You're not preserving love, you're burying yourself alive. Aurelius, a man should be upright, not kept upright. Yet millions stand propped by hope, fantasy, memory, not reality. They navigate her moods, call it compromise. It's not. It's fear, emasculation, the slow suicide of sovereignty. There's no glory in absorbing wounds. That's not strength. It's desperation's delusion. Real strength? Refusal. Walking without explanation, choosing sanity over apology, saying, I won't burn because she's cold. That strength springs from stillness, from a man who sits alone long enough to remember. He was whole before her. He'll be whole after. Aurelius, don't waste life speculating about others unless for mutual benefit. What benefit in decoding her tone, negotiating decency? That's not love. It's surveillance. Become a detective in your relationship and you've lost. The cost isn't psychological, it's spiritual. Tolerate what breaks you and your soul rots. Eyes dim, posture folds, laughter dies. You become a whisper. The world blames you. Try harder, communicate, be vulnerable. As if you haven't contorted into 1,000 shapes to please a woman who wanted control, not a man. This is war. Your weapon? Clarity. Not negotiation, not evidence, not closure. See clearly. Walk without anger, hatred, vengeance. Just certainty. That certainty terrifies her. She fears not losing you, but losing her grip. Rebuilding begins in silence, not weakness, awakening. The silence of a man who stops chasing, explaining, fixing what was designed to break him, stops negotiating with chaos, stops apologizing for boundaries, stops bleeding for those who drink his pain like wine. This silence isn't retreat, it's resurrection. For the first time, he doesn't react to her moods, games, rewritten reality. He watches, measures, chooses, power returns. Aurelius, encircled by betrayal and death, wrote, "Be like the cliff against which waves break. It stands firm, tames the fury." That's the new man, unshakable. He doesn't move to win favor, he moves on principle. Doesn't shout, doesn't explain, doesn't threaten, he acts. Everything changes. Her silence, once a weapon, now terrifies her. The man who folded at tears now sees through them. The man who apologized for wanting peace now demands it, not with words, but the finality of leaving a room forever. This man awakens. She can't seduce consciousness. He walks Aurelius' path, the path of internal command. Dawns begin with discipline. Speech is deliberate, time fuels purpose. He reads more than scrolls, builds more than complains, retreats to solitude, not to sulk, to sharpen. The world calls him cold. The world doesn't understand kingship. Scars fade. Temptations dim. He doesn't re-explain the past, doesn't fantasize about her return. He's touched bottom, rebuilt from ruin. He won't trade his empire for a seat in another woman's audience. Aurelio's question, etched on every man's mirror. At dawn, when struggling to rise, tell yourself, I go to work as a human being. That's the work. Not chasing, not pleasing. Building, protecting, returning to the sacred fire of self-mastery. No beauty is worth extinguishing. A man who remembers who he is becomes untouchable, not by dominating others, but by refusing to submit to lies. He shatters the illusion. Love must hurt. Tolerance is strength. Good men accept every storm, no more. The good man isn't weak, he sees clearly, chooses discipline over desire, distance over dysfunction, peace over performance. Now, he's dangerous. Not to women, but to the empire of manipulation feeding on his confusion. Clarity ruins the game. He doesn't argue, observes, doesn't chase, chooses, doesn't tolerate drainers, even cloaked in beauty or memory. Aurelius didn't beg from Rome's throne, he ruled. The happiness of your life depends on your thoughts. So this man guards his mind like a fortress. No woman lives there rent-free. No memory controls his future. No pain distorts his mission. He knows. Not all love is good. Some women architect chaos by design. To excuse it isn't mercy. It's masochism. The world may call him cold, bitter, closed. The world doesn't bleed silently at night. He did. Not anymore. He lives stoic, sovereign, not numb, alert, not hateful, awake, not reactive. Should a woman enter his life, she'll feel his presence's weight. Sense boundaries, not walls, but monuments to unbroken resolve. No, this isn't a man you play with, he's a man you honor, or leave. He honors himself. That is law. Gospel, kingdom rebuilt. To every man. You weren't born to suffer silently, explain into exhaustion, tolerate what dishonors your soul. You were born to command yourself, protect your mind, guard your fire. Do this and the world changes, not by easing, but by your becoming immovable. Remember Aurelius, not as a name, but a mirror. The emperor still speaks to men ready to rise, if this woke something in you. Act, like, share, subscribe, support the channel. Millions sleep. You may be why they wake.